Welcome back to Judy's Keto Kitchen. Today, I'm making a real treat that everybody I've made this for absolutely loves it, whether they're keto or not, and it's keto version of Scotcheroos, also known as Rice Krispie treats. So first of all, you start with 3 ounces of pork rinds that are cut up into small enough pieces about the size of Rice Krispie. So I'm going to show you how I did that. I have that all measured here. And again, I use pork rinds, big jars, or this I got at Sam's Club, or Max, a big bag of Max that you can put in this jar when this jar is empty. You know, you put your pork rinds in a bag. Well, I'll just do one to show you how to do it since I've already pre-measured the pork rinds. And what I do is I don't have a rolling pin. I can't find my rolling pin since going keto. I don't roll out dough. So I take a empty bottle of dry farm wine, and I use that instead of a rolling pin. So first I smash them, and it depends on the size. I don't want it too small. But you keep smashing or rolling until you get them the size of Rice Krispies. In our pan, we're going to measure out the other ingredients. We're going to start with 1/4 cup of powdered xylitol or powdered sweetener of your choice. And what I do is I take my granular xylitol, put it in a coffee grinder, spice mill, and process it, and it comes out powdered. So if you say, I can't find powdered sweetener, just make your own from whatever granular sweetener you like. So I don't have the weights on this, but I'm going to weigh it out now. This is 1/4 cup. So that's 29 grams, say 30 grams of sweetener. So what you do is you measure out your granular sweetener. There's 30 grams. And then you powder it up. So that's how you know how much sweetener to powder. You just put that in your saucepan, the amounts that I spilled. Again, xylitol. Xylitol and stevia are the only 2 sweeteners we can use. If you have dogs, do not use xylitol. Use another sweetener like allulose. I definitely can't use erythritol. But use a different sweetener. We have cats, and I'm very careful around our cats. And to that, you're going to have 195 grams of peanut butter, or about 3/4 cup. I am using peanut butter for this recipe. You can use sun butter, almond butter, cashew butter, any butter that you want, but I don't use peanut butter that often. But I am going to use it for this. And it's a new jar, and I'm getting peanut butter all over the place. 195 grams, which is also 6.6 ounces, or 3/4 cup. And to that, you're going to add, you can use butter. If you're not dairy-free, we don't like to use a lot of dairy, so I'm going to be using coconut oil. So it's 115 grams of butter or coconut oil, which is also 4 ounces or 1/2 cup. So you have the peanut butter, the coconut oil or butter, and the sweetener in this saucepan, medium-sized saucepan, and you're going to melt it. So here we go. Turn this on. We're going to turn it on to high initially just to get it warmed up. So this is going to be heating up, and I will show you as soon as it all melts what it looks like. Here we have the melted peanut butter, coconut oil, and xylitol. Remember to stir it around so that the sweetener doesn't just crystallize on the bottom. So now what we're going to do is add, I have English toffee better stevia that I got on Wellevate. I'm going to add some of that, as well as some caramel extract. About a teaspoon of that. I'm actually not sure how much caramel extract I have left. Perfect. So you stir in the stevia and the extract to all of the melted. To the pan, you add your pork rinds. And you mix all that up. Make sure everything is completely coated. And let the pork rinds absorb all that nice peanut butter caramel. So everything's nicely coated. Then what you do is take your 8x8 pan and plop it all in. And you're going to press it down evenly. So it's all in there evenly. And what you're going to do is you're going to put this in the refrigerator for an hour. So I'll put this in and we'll be back in an hour and we'll go to the next step. So the first part of the Scotcheroos, the bottom layer, has been in the refrigerator for an hour. So now it's on to the next step. We're making the chocolate topping. So I'm going to turn this on to get this water boiling. And yes, it's plugged in. And in my bowl, I'm going to put 6 ounces of chocolate. I love Ghirardelli. I've found it in the past that I don't like as much chocolate topping as it calls for. So I'm going to do a 4-ounce bar of chocolate. Ghirardelli, I was having such a hard time finding this, but luckily the stores are now carrying it. 6 ounces of chocolate. You need 27 grams or 2 ounces of cocoa butter. You could use coconut oil too. And in a double boiler, or for me, it's a metal bowl over a boiling water. Now this water's not quite at a boil. Easy for you to say. A boil yet, so, but I'll wait for it. I have it on high, waiting for it to boil. So the chocolate is finally melting. If you're doing it this way, be careful because sometimes the water boils and splashes you. So the chocolate is melted. Well, there's a little piece that's not melted, but it will melt. So what I'm going to do to this, which the recipe does not ask for, is I like it a little sweeter. Sometimes just having dark chocolate, it's a little bitter. So I decided to add a little bit of French vanilla bitter stevia to make it a little sweeter. Add a little vanilla flavor. Be careful, it's going to be hot. Empty the water since we're finished with it. Continue stirring the chocolate. Next step, you get your first layer, and then you're just going to pour it over. And spread it out so that it's all covered. So here it is, covered in chocolate. And now we put this back in the refrigerator for 1 hour. So come back in an hour. We'll cut it and try it. Oh, this is so good. Well, the Scotcheroos have been in the refrigerator for an hour, so they're all set. I have my coffee poured so that I can enjoy some coffee when I sample the Scotcheroos. So this is how easy with the parchment paper. You just lift it up. So it makes 16 servings, so I cut it in I cut it in half. Then each half in half. At first I thought 16 pieces out of an 8x8 pan, they're gonna be tiny. But as you can see, they're not tiny. It's a pretty good serving. I'll take one and show you. Take a sip of coffee. Taste it. That is so good. I'll store these in the refrigerator, and when guests arrive, serve them. I think of Christmas when I think of this. However, what I also think of is any holiday, any gathering, like a barbecue, a cookout, family get-together, Easter, St. Patty's Day, any time you get together with friends and family, Scotcheroos will be a hit.